Man, I feel like I'm living at this damn dollar store just to get everything. I got water and soap because thankfully a child of God was like, excuse me, you canceled your quack membership because this car's a pain in the ass to clean now that it's got all this weird Coca-Cola stuff on it. You better get some soap and water. You're going to have to hand wash it and all kinds of pain. I have to wake up in the morning and use, that thing I have? I bought that thing at the AutoZone. And it's really long. It's really long and it has this pad on the end. And now I have to kind of clean the Coca-Cola stuff because it gets all dirty, but you can't wash the car. It could damage their property. Then you have to pay for their property. So thankfully a child of God was so precious. They were like, don't forget to grab some soap. So I grabbed a weird little bottle of soap. And I think I'm stocked up, good to go. I just had to get these pens. So this is the pen to finish my paperwork, but I won't do it till I get back later tonight. And then I got these ones. Look at this. It makes magic 3D. Makes magic 3D effects. I was like, well, if I have to get a pen in my purse. I had a bunch of pens from doing sales. I had like piles of pens from doing sales, but I left most of them behind. But I grabbed a handful. Well, when I finally needed to do paperwork, the handful of pens I had grabbed didn't work. So I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta pick up some pens. So I think I've got everything, children of God. Let me know if I've missed anything, but yeah. Thank you, children of God, because I don't want to have to go shopping when I get back to San Diego and have to drive around endlessly just to deliver, one thing over and over and over. I'd rather just be in San Diego, drive endlessly for my one thing over and over and over, and get out of San Diego as soon as this Coca-Cola thing is over, which I think is in April. I really wish there was a supervisor. This is my first Coca-Cola wrap. So I got a wrap for that Walter Clark guy, but you didn't have to go to an event and drive around. I hope I'm bringing enough fame to Coca-Cola. I've been throwing out my fingers based on the number that they're thinking. I've been, kind of talking more fun and interactive and proving that I know what they're thinking to try to bring a lot of attention to the Coca-Cola ad on the car. Because they have not had supervisors. They have not had supervisors. I wrote down what you're supposed. So this is what they gave me. They gave me they gave me a map with all these streets I was supposed to turn on. So I wrote it all down. But when you try to follow what you wrote down, it doesn't work. You get lost every time. So I thought, this kind of sucks that you don't teach people how to do this, because if I ever do this rap again and I get to do some big event again, I'd really want to be like really good at it. And I was kind of depressed that you couldn't like click some kind of GPS and have the GPS lead you to the ultimate event circles or whatever. And then they had roads. They had all these roads blocked off. And the list told me to drive on roads that weren't open. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to do my thing. So I was trying to follow everybody, but everybody kept disappearing. Probably because they were trying to drive around and couldn't find anything. So I thought, oh my gosh. So I just did the best with whatever I had and thought, oh my gosh, what a mess. But at least I am God. And as soon as I prove I know their thinking, and as soon as I can prove I know what they're thinking, it's like all of them focus on me more than they were in the first place. So the one thing I have in my advantage is I might be a dummy driving up and down these roads to celebrate Coca-Cola in the name of this event, but everyone knows when I'm around. And then when I confirm I know what they're thinking, it just gets really, really, really famous in the area, overloadedly. So, because, you want to bring a lot of honor and popularity to a product. That's why the sticker's there. All right, children of God, if you guys need anything, I'm going to use my powers to say thank you for everything you guys helped me to remember that I would have forgotten. I made myself stink like shit because I made myself stink like shit because some cashier was acting nice and normal after talking shit with customers. I was like, you stink like shit. But I made her think whatever she wanted. And of course, Bonnie stinks like shit. It's not that she used her powers to make everything stink like shit to remind me I'm a big pile of stinky shit, full of sin and crime and fuck you against the face of God. No, she stinks like shit. Believe what you want. I don't like when people act nice when they have just been the grossest crime, the most sickening crimes against God's ever known.